Welcome to the Fiscal Axiom. Look, most people spend their entire adult lives stuck in the exact same financial loop. You work, you pay the bills, and then you panic about what's left. Right? It's a cycle. You repeat this loop until you die. But what if I told you there is a specific 90-day window, a glitch in the matrix, where you can completely rewire how money flows through your life? Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about buying a lottery ticket, and I'm definitely not talking about some sketchy crypto scheme. I'm talking about a behavioral system. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact three-phase framework that has taken people from checking account anxiety to actual, tangible cash flow. We've seen people build a fully funded emergency fund in less than 12 weeks. We've seen others quit jobs they absolutely hated. But here is the brutal truth. Most people never make it past week 2. Stay with me, and I'll show you exactly why and how to be the exception. Before we get into the how, you need to understand the when. Why 90 days? Why not a month? Why not a year? You've probably heard the old myth that it takes 21 days to form a habit. That is pure marketing nonsense. That number came from a plastic surgeon in the 1960s named Maxwell Maltz, and internet gurus have been parroting it ever since. Real research, specifically from University College London, shows that genuine behavioral change, the kind that actually rewires your neural pathways, takes an average of 66 days. Sometimes it takes up to a year. But 90 days? 90 days is the Goldilocks Zone. It is long enough to see mathematical proof that your life is changing. Your debt drops, your savings go up, but it is short enough that you can feel the momentum. You can taste the blood in the water. And honestly, that taste is what keeps you going. But here is where 99% of people fail. They try to change everything on day 1. They start a new budget, a new diet, a new investment portfolio, and a side hustle all on Monday morning. By day 18, their brain is suffering from what psychologists call decision fatigue. Your willpower is a finite resource, like a battery. If you drain it on too many changes, you crash, you go back to square one. This system is different. It's designed to bypass decision fatigue. We split the 90 days into 3 distinct 30-day phases. You are not fighting your brain, you are partnering with it. Let's start with phase 1, days 1 through 30. Your job in this phase is so simple, it's going to feel like a trick. You are going to do nothing.
Well, almost nothing. You aren't going to cut your spending. You aren't going to cancel Netflix. You aren't going to eat ramen noodles. Your only job is to track every single dollar that leaves your hands. If you buy a pack of gum, track it. Rent, track it. That questionable 2 a.m. Amazon purchase, track it. Most people have phantom expenses. They swear they spend responsibly, yet $400 a month just evaporates. They can't account for it. Phase 1 is about closing the gap between what you think you spend and what you actually spend. Here is the psychological hack. When you observe a behavior, you inevitably change it. It's called the Hawthorne effect. By simply having to write down that you spent $15 on a salad you didn't even like, your brain starts to pause. You start making micro decisions. You hesitate. By day 30, without even trying to budget, most people find an extra $100 to $300 they didn't know they had. You are building data. And data is the weapon we are going to use in phase 2. Because once you have the data, you have to make the cut. In this is where it gets painful. Welcome to phase 2, the restructure, days 31 through 60. This is where emotion meets action. Now that you have 30 days of cold, hard data, you are ready to make a choice. And notice I said choice, not restriction. Most budgets fail because they feel like a diet. We don't do diets here. We use something called the priority stack. First, you list your non-negotiables: rent, food, essential utilities. These are sacred. We don't touch them. But right above that is the danger zone. That is where your values live. This is personal. For you, value might be security.
For someone else, it is travel, or tech, or family time. Your values determine where every other dollar flows. If you value security, you are building a fortress of cash. If you value growth, you are buying books and courses. Then comes the cut. Anything that does not serve your survival or your values, it gets slaughtered. That streaming service you watch once a month? Gone. That $6 coffee that doesn't actually taste good? Gone. This is where it gets emotional, because cutting isn't just about money, it is about identity. You have to stop saying, I'm someone who eats out every night, and start saying, I'm someone who builds wealth. By day 60, your money has been rerouted. Maybe it is an extra $200. Maybe it is $800. The number doesn't matter. The flow matters. Now, we enter phase 3, acceleration, day 61 through 90. This is where the system compounds. You have cut the fat, you have stopped the bleeding, and suddenly, you have a surplus.
You are at a crossroads. The old you would spend this. The new you is going to deploy it. Your new cash flow has 3 specific destinations. Destination 1, the safety net. You build a 1-month emergency fund. Then 2, then 3. This isn't investing. This is insurance against life ruining your plans. Desperation makes bad financial decisions. Safety makes strategic ones. Destination 2, the income stream. With a safety net in place, you invest in something that generates a return. Maybe it is an S&P 500 index fund, or maybe it is a certification that gets you a $10,000 raise. The goal is to make your money have babies. And destination 3, and this is critical, the reward. You must allocate 10% of your new surplus to something purely joyful. A guilt-free dinner, a hobby. If you starve yourself of joy, you will binge spend later. This keeps the system sustainable. Does this actually work? Let's look at the reality. Take Ashley. She found she was bleeding $180 a month on software subscriptions she didn't use. She redirected that into a customized emergency fund. By day 90, the psychological safety of that cash allowed her to negotiate higher rates with her clients. She increased her income by 30%. Then there's Brandon, drowning in $8,000 of consumer debt. He used phase 2 to make brutal cuts. No dining out, no extras. By day 90, he had paid off over $5,000. The money was always there. The system just made it visible. And Stephanie, high income but broke due to lifestyle creep. The system forced her to ask what she actually valued. It wasn't designer clothes, it was freedom. By day 90, she had a fully funded safety net and invested in a course that boosted her yearly salary by $15,000. 3 different people, 1 outcome. They regained agency over their lives. Now, I will be honest, most of you watching this will fail. You will quit in phase 1 because tracking feels tedious, or you will panic in phase 2 because the cuts feel too real. But the solution is simple. Automate the tracking. Remember your why. Look, you are not broke because you are stupid. You are not broke because you are unlucky. You are in your current situation because of a system you probably never chose. But you can choose a different one right now. In 90 days, you could be unrecognizable. Not because you got lucky, but because you followed a framework designed to work with your brain, not against it. If you are ready to stop the loop and start the flow, hit that subscribe button. You don't have to figure this out alone. I'll see you in the next one.